Welcome back, everyone. We've got a seriously fascinating explainer lined up for you today. We're diving into a highly structured early literacy roadmap created by Nedchit N under the Elementary Education Explorer banner. If you're a teacher, a homeschooling parent, or honestly, just someone who cares about how we successfully teach the next generation to read and write, well, you're going to want to stick around for this. We are breaking down exactly how this program guides young minds all the way from basic letters straight through to creative writing. So let's jump right in, shall we? Here's how we're breaking things down today. First, we'll look at where the literacy journey begins. Second, we're mapping out the phonics adventure. Third, we'll take a peek inside a standard lesson. And finally, we'll zoom out to see the complete early literacy vision.
All right, part one, the literacy journey begins. It's all about building that rock-solid foundation.
You know, there's this absolutely crucial leap between the very first phase of learning and what comes next. Think about book one, My Alphabet Adventure. It focuses on the absolute basics, right? Letter recognition from A to Z, figuring out beginning sounds, building up that initial vocabulary, reading super simple sentences, and even some character building. But then, and this is a big step, we transition to book two, My Phonics Adventure. Here, the challenge really elevates to structured phonics, actual reading and dedicated writing practice. It's a very deliberate step up in difficulty. We're moving from just identifying things to actual mechanical application. And that brings us to a really defining quote from the author's overall vision. The goal here is, quote, a gradual move from A to the very act of reading and writing. The whole curriculum is designed to act as this perfectly logical bridge. Because, let's be real, you can't just toss a kid from learning the alphabet straight into reading full paragraphs. There absolutely has to be a systematic, structured stepping stone in between. And book two? It's exactly that bridge for early learners. Okay, moving right along to part two, mapping the phonics adventure. Let's look at the unit structure. So how does this actually work? Well, the author organizes these phonics lessons from the absolute easiest concepts all the way to the most advanced. This ensures students are never, ever overwhelmed. The curriculum basically functions as a set of sequential milestones, stepping up month by month. In that first month, or milestone one, students tackle long vowel teams. By the second month, they unlock the magic E, or silent E. The third milestone introduces R-controlled vowels. Then, things really start to ramp up. Month 4 brings diphthongs. Month 5 introduces consonant digraphs. And finally, month 6 tackles special letter patterns. It's this incredibly careful, chronological increase in difficulty that just compounds a student's confidence over time. Let's break those down a bit. In the first half of this sequence, Unit 1 focuses heavily on those foundational long vowel teams. We're talking about the E sound or the OW sound, like in the word snow. Unit 2 brings in that magic E, giving us patterns like AE as in flame and UE as in cube. Then, Unit 3 shifts gears to R-controlled vowels, introducing sounds like R and By mastering these really specific, isolated sounds first, kids are getting equipped with the most common, fundamental building blocks of the English language. Now, as we transition into the second half of the adventure, the training wheels really come off. Welcome to the wild, wonderful, and sometimes wacky world of English phonics. Unit 4 dives straight into diphthongs, like oi and the ow sound, like in the word cow. Unit 5 brings in consonant digraphs. Those are those tricky combined sounds like ch and sh. And finally, Unit 6 introduces the real curveballs, special letter patterns. This includes the IGH sound, the silent KN, and even soft C and soft G. The beauty of mapping it out like this is the predictability. It totally prevents young learners from getting frustrated by just how notoriously tricky English can be. Which brings us to part 3, inside a standard lesson. Let's get into the granular details. The absolutely crucial point to understand here is routine. The author explicitly states that they use the exact same 6-part lesson format for every single sound. It goes like this. 1. The learning focus poster. 2. The meet the sound poster. 3. The featured words chart. 4. Reading sentences. 5. Practice exercises. And 6. A phonics activity page. By never ever changing this 6-step format, the curriculum completely removes the friction of learning how to learn. The student gets to just focus entirely on the new sound itself. Let's look a little closer at those, starting with the first 3 steps, which are all about introducing and cementing that new sound. Step 1 establishes the goal right out of the gate with a learning focus poster. For example, it might literally say, OW is for outstanding sounds. It tells the student exactly what they're doing that day. Step 2 is the Meet the Sound poster. This asks, what is the sound? How do we pronounce it? And gets the student to actively listen and repeat.
Once they've verbalized it, step 3 hits them with the featured words chart, giving them exactly 20 carefully selected words to immediately show that sound in action.
Then the second half of the lesson is all about application. In step 4, the student graduates from single words to reading 10 engaging sentences on the reading sentences poster. Step 5 literally puts a pencil in their hand for practice exercises. They're circling, they're matching, filling in blanks, and doing sentence building. And finally, step 6 rewards all that hard work with a phonics activity page packed with games, sorting, coloring, and word hunts. It is a complete, well-rounded cycle of learning, from passive listening to active reading, and finally right into joyful, interactive application. Moving to our final section, Part 4, the complete early literacy vision. Let's look at the broader ecosystem. You see, the Elementary Education Explorer isn't just a simple phonics program. It is a massive 8-book early literacy ecosystem. After Book 2, the vision just expands dramatically. Book 3 tackles sight words. Book 4 develops reading fluency. Book 5 introduces grammar for young learners. Book 6 actually unlocks creative writing for kids. Book 7 hones reading comprehension, and then Book 8 solidifies spelling skills. This shows teachers, private schools, and homeschooling families that they aren't just buying a single textbook here. They're buying into a comprehensive, multi-year literacy framework. Everything we've looked at today really serves one ultimate logical progression. Phase 1 is letters. Phase 2 connects those letters to sounds. Phase 3 builds those sounds into words. Phase 4 strings those words together into sentences. Phase 5 turns those sentences into fluent reading. And then the ultimate pinnacle, Phase 6 empowers the student with writing. It's just this flawless, unbreakable chain of compounding knowledge.
Which leaves us with one final, really important question to ask ourselves. Is your literacy curriculum this logically linked? Or is it time for a new adventure? When we look at how systematically Ngeche Therisna has structured this pathway, literally from the isolated letter A all the way to the complexities of creative writing, it really sets a high bar for what early education should look like. Well, that's all for today's Explainer. Thank you so much for joining me. Keep learning, keep seeking out great structure, and I'll catch you on the next deep dive.